Hey everybody, welcome to my shop. Well, it's time to drill some holes. So, kind of been playing around, got some measurements. Hopefully you guys can see that pretty good. So, basically, just have enough room for both the flange nuts to fit. So we're going to come down 600 thou. We're going to come in 600 thou, put a hole, and then come back down here, which my number would be 1 inch, 0.778. Put another one in, and we're going to drill these obviously 1/2 inch, and then once we get the blocks done, then the bottom part we have to drill 27/64, and then run a 1/2 inch 13 tap. So let me get this in the mill, find my zeros, and we'll just punch some holes. Already came in and found my 2 edges, so we're at 600 thou X, 600 thou Y. Already center drilled it, and if you remember last mail call, I picked up these 31/64 parabolic drill bits, so just under 1/2 inch. I figured we'll give these a shot since they're new and help to evacuate chips. So, what's their made in the USA? Let's give it a whirl and see how they do. Like they cut good. So let's go to hang on. Get my Eagle oiler here. Well, that cut just nice, so perfect. Now I'm just gonna go ahead and run the 1/2 inch drill bit and get it to the size we need. Alrighty, one done. I'll do the other block off camera. Time to drill and tap into the, I guess you call this the base. So I had to move my stop since that corner is still 0 for X and Y. And get these to line up. This block is actually 2 inches, 378 thou. And this is 2 inches, 0.500, is exactly 2.5, and so that makes a difference of 122 thou. Divided by 2 is 61 thou. So basically, coming in 61 thou on this side, and that side centers it up, and we'll punch the holes. Hole is drilled. I got a new tap from Travers. So we'll give her a shot. All right, one down, 3 more to go. second hole is done. Fingers crossed we did our math right, and this is gonna fit, because if it doesn't, it's gonna suck, and I really don't want it to suck. Uh-oh, shop dog's at my feet. Alright, here's our block, fingers crossed. Ah, yes, sweet, we did it right. And she lines up good. Let me get you over here, right at our face. If you can see that, I'm fingers in the light. So nice. That's a relief. So I'm going to rinse and repeat on this one, and I'll be back, guys. Well, let's give our project a test fit. So there she is. And I don't know if you can hear that on the building, but it's pouring down rain. So good day to be in the shop and get something done. Not to get around you guys. Well, so far so good. Let me get some nuts on it. Let me get the other side. Got the other side tightened up. See what we got here. The dogs are over there playing. That's what you hear. Well, I'm glad I took that what, almost 100 thou off the bottom there. She's looking good. Alright, hopefully you guys can see that pretty good. But, looks like we got us a winner. Very cool. Alright, that is good. Now we need to do is get the angle head on, and then kind of get a measurement from here down to here, so I can kind of get an idea where it's going to fall, and then also we can start trimming down that big piece of stock that I got, that the 1/2 inch flat plate. Gonna go handheld, so right angle head is fixed, and what I've done is I've dropped it down a little bit to give us some wiggle room, so that way if we need to go up we can. And let me see, maybe washing it out. Let me I think it is. Hold on. And let me get this light. So I've got a magnet with a ruler hanging down. I've got the Arbor in. So if we come over here and we kind of get an idea where we're at, looks like we're about 7 1/4 inches to the center of the Arbor. That's fine, because like I said, I've got some wiggle room to go up if need be. I think it's just a hair past that, so that'll work. So now what we need to do obviously is get that 1/2 inch vertical plate that we're going to stick here, start getting that trimmed up, and once I get it to the dimensions I like it, then we'll go ahead and weld her up. Over here at the welding table, and that's that big piece of hot rolled 1/2 inch thick. It's going to be our vertical support, and this is 150 thou. If you remember milling this slot right here, and we wanted to go what 7 inches 250 thou from here basically to here, add that. So that puts us at 7 inches 400 thou, where the center of the bearing is going to go. And obviously the bearing is too tall. It's about 3/4 of an inch. So I've got this piece of 4140 that will drill and bore out, and the bearing's going to sit in it. It is 2 inch in diameter, so basically it would sit, you know, like this, and and the bearing would be in here. So that makes it, this is on center with this, so that would be another inch. And then I wanted to have an inch of material left over. So that gives us a total of basically 9 inches and 400 thou, and I just rounded up to 500 thou. So I'm just going to take this over the bandsaw, and I'm just going to cut this baby right here. And then I've been debating about the gussets here. If you can see the picture, you know, they've got one gusset in the center. I think I'm going to do 3. Do one in the center, pretty beefy, and then 2, you know, smaller ones. Obviously I'm not going to use this, but these are some ones I had when I did roll cage work. Spider web's pretty cool. And then do 2 smaller ones, you know, on each side of it. One here and then one here. And my thinking is that way I can reduce the warpage, because if we just do one gusset in the middle and I start welding this plate, you know, it's just the law of physics. It's just going to want to, you know, tweak and twist over. But if I have 3, so now I've got, you know, 3 points of contact, it really can't twist or wiggle and, you know, turn into a wet noodle. So hopefully that'll be the, you know, the best route to go. So let me not bore you anymore, get over to the bandsaw, and we'll get this cut off. I'm not going to show the video of it though. Gonna go ahead and get the gussets cut out over here at the Dual vertical bandsaw. Hopefully you can see the line right there. The blade's got a couple teeth that aren't in the greatest of shape, but still got plenty of life in it, so I'm gonna keep cutting with it. But that's what you hear, the extra crunch every now and then. Getting a good use out of that cold gun knockoff. Working good to keep the chips out of the way so I can see my line. Finished cutting out the gussets, so it's kind of what she looks like. Took a while to cut this one off here because it's long, you know, that's a lot of surface area to cut. Didn't want to use the plasma cutter because it wouldn't be a super straight, and I'd just have to do a lot of you know, sanding and a lot of work to get it looking right. So I'd rather do it on the bandsaw. Took a little longer, but it looks a little better. So now the next thing I need to do is kind of figure out the design, how I want to remove some of this material here, you know. I guess somewhere come around and kind of something like that, because we don't need all this. This is just adding weight. I'm gonna play around with the design, see what I like, and then I'll just go ahead and cut those off camera. And once we get that, we can basically kind of get this thing all together, clamp down, and burn a bunch of weld. Well, before I get ahead of myself, you know, I'm trying to think of all the different scenarios here, and I'm gonna go ahead and drill the hole for the end of the arbor to go through, because, you know, we'll chuck this up and this will be the bearing support, but you know, we've got this extra amount of arbor that's going to stick out, that's going to go into this plate and maybe through, depending on how we determine our depth here. So if I cut all this off, then I'd probably obviously have a difficult time trying to get this exactly where I want it. So I'm referenced off of here, end up being like 8 inches and 12 thou, so just went in 4 inches and 6 thou, and then from here to here marked it 7 inches and 250 thou. So I'm going to take this over to the mill and just punch a hole through it, and we'll be back. Doing a little annular cutter action. Figured I'd show a little bit. I like to be well lubed and the chips cleared out often, since there's not a lot of depth in the teeth. And it's perfect when you hit a hole. You don't have to drill. Waste all that material, you can just punch a nice little hole. And this adapter here, if you remember, go back to the video, this is the adapter we made to hold these annular cutters. It's got a little bit of run out, but it's working okay. Also depends on the quality of the annular cutter. These are just imports. So there you have it, one nice smooth hole and one plug. Like I said, if you're drilling super large holes, and these plugs end up being large diameter, end up being good scrap stock. So we're good to go on that. Let's get some lines figured out, how I want to contour this, and back to the bandsaw. What you doing, buddy? Having fun in your pool? Huh? So I like water. Whoa, don't get my camera wet. Say hey everybody on YouTube, I'm growing. You're gonna get the camera wet, ain't you? Whee, go back in there, buddy. Get in your pool. Go on, get in your pool. What you got? Come on. What you got in there? What you got? So I'm just cleaning up the saw cut edge that's going to get welded to the horizontal bracket, and I'm glad I did. I've already taken 40 thou off, and we still haven't touched over here, so I'm going to take another 10, so hopefully 50 thou will get this thing square. So just going to give you a little more milling action, but so 50 thou, that's how bad she was off. Let me get you here and we'll go for a ride. Okay, I finished that pass and it cleaned it up all the way to about here. So I've got, I don't know, 3/4 of an inch that didn't hit, but this is fine. That's plenty for it to sit nice and flat and square. So we're good. Time to get this thing out, and I don't know, hopefully you can see that line there and that line there. I'll take that over to the do-wall and we'll cut this extra material off. I won't bore you with that, I'll just do it off camera. Alrighty, fresh off the bandsaw. Starting to look like an arbor support now. think what I'm going to do now, I'm going to go ahead and take it over to the belt sander, put a nice new fresh belt on it, and you know, clean up these corners, get them nice and radiused, and then after that, knock this mill scale off, and this puppy will be ready to be welded up. This is awesome, and this is how the supports are going to kind of go. I think that'll be nice and beefy and rigid. Get you an overhead shot. So let me get that done, and we'll be back, guys.